Okay. Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Your Call to Action. Today, I'm with Karl from Karl Kombucha. How's it going?
Good. Thanks for having me here.
It's good to have you on the podcast. We've been trying to get you on for a while, so it's good to finally have you on.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, so first things first, can you introduce yourself to our listeners?
Sure. So, my name is Karl, and my business is called Karl Kombucha. It's like very creative name, I guess. I have started my business. It's an online business, selling actually online kombucha brewing kits, and it's a physical business, but my sales go actually all through the online platform.
Yep. And when did you start Karl Kombucha?
That was about 3 years and about 8 months ago.
Oh wow, almost 4 years. That's pretty cool.
It's quite a while, and it was actually quite funny how I came to it.
Oh, cool. So is there a story behind how it all started? Or?
Yep, I traveled with my ex-girlfriend, and we went to her new employer, which was a kombucha company.
Okay.
So I was there as well, and I figured out that the owner of the kombucha company was previously a winemaker, and I used to work in the wine industry for a little bit, and I thought, hey, what they can do, I can do too. So that's how I got the idea of, hey, why not start a kombucha company?
So you're passionate about kombucha beforehand?
Not at all.
No?
I did not know what kombucha was. My ex-girlfriend, she mentioned it a few times.
Yep.
It was like kombucha, and I had no idea. And even though she described what it is, I still did not understood anything about it other than that it was some kind of a soft drink.
Okay, yeah. So when you started, like, how did you start? What was the first 3 months of Karl Kombucha like?
The first 3 months was actually, so after this visit of the other kombucha company, I came home to some friends. We met up for dinner, and I told them that I will be a kombucha brewer. I actually just said it for fun.
Yeah.
I didn't really mean it, but they kind of called me out and said like, well, Karl, you wanted to become self-employed. Why not start a kombucha business? And then I thought about it. Hey, you know what? Let's just start with the first step by just starting to brew kombucha myself. I tried it. I really liked it. I was surprised by the taste, and I really enjoyed it because it has like low sugar, etc. So really enjoyed it. Started brewing it myself, and then somehow this idea creeped in. It's like, hey, you know what? I can actually do it myself, the whole thing. And my plan was to brew kombucha and sell the kombucha itself, not the kombucha brewing kits that I actually do right now.
Okay, yeah. So you guys obviously sell more than just the kombucha.
Yep.
Obviously, we got the kit there. If you want to explain,
sure,
that and other products that you do.
So the first idea was actually to sell the kombucha drink.
Yep.
And so I started brewing myself, started to experiment. That was actually in regards to the first 3 months.
Yep.
This is what happened in the first 3 months. I started to brew it myself, and I started calculating what would it take to actually open up my own kombucha brewery, like really in a professional way. At that time, I actually was living in a van, and I was brewing in my friend's place, so I didn't even have the place, but I just started the business anyway, kind of. So in the first 3 months, I was pretty much just experimenting and brewing while I was still working.
Yeah.
So, and during these 3 months, maybe 2 months in, someone told me like, hey, why don't you sell the scobies so people can brew it themselves? And I thought like, hey, that's actually a good idea. That was actually also my ex-girlfriend that said that. So I literally created like a kit by myself, went to shopping center, bought a jar similar to this jar that we have here. It was a 4-liter jar. Created the kit, like put things together, made a picture with my mobile phone outside in the garden, and just put it on eBay test, like to test the market. And then like literally like 1 or 2 days later, it sold, and I was like, oh wow! So I created one more kit, or straight away a few, and then they started selling, and I was like, wow, there's a demand. Why don't I start doing that before I actually go into producing the drink? Because in order to produce the drink, the infrastructure that you have to build, or the company that you have to build, is far bigger than doing the kombucha brewing kits.
100%.
So this is what I started and to just make the kits and start selling them on eBay. That was the start. That happened in the first 3 months. While I also was just having my normal job.
So when did you're on Shopify, right? Shopify?
Yes, definitely.
So when did that start, your own website?
Probably more than... took me nearly a year to actually start Shopify. So it started rolling slowly, and I was like, okay, that's great, but it doesn't really pay the bills. And then I thought like, I need to do something else, and so I created my own website through Shopify. Super easy to do. I have no idea about coding, and I managed to do it within like 4 hours or something. Very simple, just a few pictures, nothing really special. Created that. And surprisingly, like a few days later, I had one sale.
Oh, wow.
And then nothing. For probably like more than 2 months or something, not one sale, or maybe 1 month, I can't remember exactly. So that was just lucky. I have no idea how that happened, but I had my first customer, so I was really positive. And I thought like, okay, now I need to start, get it rolling. And this is when I actually came to AdWords. Like I always heard about AdWords, Google Ads, and I thought like, hey, why not give it a try? And at that time, Google Ads had an really good offer. It offered you, I think, $100.
Free credit.
$100 free credit if you spend $25 on advertisement. And I thought, hey, why not? And they had even a telephone number there. So it's like, well, just give them a call and see what it is all about. Gave them a call, and they literally guided me through like, oh, this is what you do, da. And then the woman asked me, what do you sell? So I explained briefly what I sell. Then we put together a few keywords, and it was, at that time, it was called Google AdWords Express. And the logarithm of Google created the keywords all automatically, and they told me like to put it up for $18 advertisement money a day, which I thought, it's a bit quite high. But then on the other hand, it's like, well, with the $100 free credit, I can run it for 5 days without losing much money. Only $25. That's nothing. It's like, why not try? Tried it, and then suddenly like the sales started to come in, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. That was kind of like the start. And now from $18, it's more like about $60 to $70 a day.
Oh wow!
But because like the more I pay for the advertisement, the more I sell. So it's worth doing it. So
I just want to talk about how you got your product to market. So how did you test the market? You already explained a little bit, but maybe a bit more in depth on how you tested and how you knew that you were onto something that was going to be a winning product.
So literally, if I would do something new, like another product, if I would do another product again, then I would actually do it with eBay again. Because I think if you have a product that you can sell on eBay, you will also be successful on Google, on your own,
on your own
website. That's how I would do it again. At that time, I just put it on eBay, it started selling. I was like, okay, cool. Then let me just improve the pictures, let me improve my online presence. And I just started slowly working away. If I would do it again, I would do it a little bit differently, to be honest.
So you're selling physically, or is it just purely online at the moment?
I would say 98% it's online, and 2% is like some people message me or call me up. It's like, oh, you are like, we live close to your business, and so they could just come around
and pick it up. Yeah,
exactly. But otherwise, everything goes through online, and it's like, it's actually super convenient because then I don't have to be at home, etc. It's like,
yeah. So when you started to do that, your own brew, how many iterations of your own brew did you do before you decide to sell it?
Maybe 10.
10?
Yeah. It's like, I literally, like, I'm a big fan of just do it.
Okay.
Like, just try. So I myself was not really experienced in making kombucha, but I started selling it already. Yeah. It looked good to me. It tasted very good to me. So I decided, well, why not share it with other people? And I just started selling it.
Yep. Yeah, cool. So what are some things that you learned when getting your product to market?
That it's good to just try many different things out.
Yeah.
Because I kind of experienced that if I try 4 things out, one will work. Yep. So the more I try, the more things I find that work. Then something that I found works really well is, for example, implementing reviews. Mm-hmm. So since I implemented reviews, I could experience about 20 to 30% increase in sales just by having like beautiful reviews on your website, because people trust other people, and a lot of my reviews are actually with pictures, and I think that's like just magic, because everyone sees, like, no one can fake so many different pictures. So it's like people see the reviews and they're like, oh wow, that's genuine, that's cool. And I had a lot of people actually calling and saying like, wow, because I saw this awesome reviews on your website, I decided to buy your product. And I was like super stoked about it. So this is something I learned about putting my product onto the market. What else?
Who do you use for your reviews? What, like Shopify native app or?
Lux Reviews.
Lux Reviews.
Yes, I have tried another company, which unfortunately I won't mention the name, but was just not as good. Like Lux is just
does everything
working system, and something that I learned as well. It's when other companies offer services like reviews or something, or maybe even managing your Google AdWords. Be very, very careful and research about these companies that offer the reviews. For example, I was first with Lux, which worked really well, and they have also really good reviews. Then I went to the other company. The salesman was amazing, and he just talked me into it, promised me that I would make 23% more sales from what I do right now, and it just sounded so good, and I just did it. And I realized no, he did not deliver what he promised, so I went back to Lux. I'm actually really happy with them. And then I had one experience which comes into this as well, is a company called me and said that they can manage my Google reviews before I have done it all myself. And they also promised like, oh, we can maybe even double it and so on. So I believed them without actually doing my proper research about this company. Signed up with them, and I deeply regretted that. So like, before you jump into some partnership, do your research, because in that case I lost quite a bit of revenue. They promised that they would get up the conversion rate by roughly like 50% of what I had, and I had already above 4% conversion rate, which is considered quite good,
that's good.
In the online business industry. And they said like, oh, we can get it even further up. And 4 weeks in, they're trying to do their job. They came only like to 2.3% or something. They haven't even achieved what I achieved by myself. So, and then I was like, yep, you guys are fired. because 4 weeks is enough to at least like.
Yeah, you can see some changes, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And obviously you saw a change in the right
direction. The performance was poor, and so yeah, my biggest takeaway from that is like, do your research and do not implement new things in a high period, like in a high season.
Oh yeah.
Because I implemented that literally just after Christmas for my business. Before Christmas and about 1 to 2 months after Christmas is the top season. That's the highest revenue season. And I implemented it just after Christmas, and I had like barely any revenue, and it was like devastating. Like I could have made so much more sales, but didn't, because like I learned. So now I'm like, cool, now I gotta implement it.
Yeah. So in general, what would you say running an e-commerce store is like, just as a general experience?
In general, I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
Because you can be really independent. You choose your working times. You don't have to be in the store. Like for example, if you would run a brick and mortar store, you physically have to be there. With an online store, you don't. And if you have the right partner, like for example, KeepSpace, which you guys are doing my orders, which is so amazing. I can actually prepare and do all the work that needs to be done beforehand. So prepare everything, and then I can go away for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, or even during Christmas season, 3.5 weeks, my busiest season. I was able to go away, and all I had to do is sometimes take care of customer service by just answering a few emails, etc. So in that case, online business, I'm actually a big fan of it, and I think for the future my other businesses will be online businesses as well.
Cool.
Because they're just really convenient.
So what is your number one tip for someone selling online?
Number one tip for selling online, I would say, if it's your own product, try to first use a platform maybe like eBay or maybe even like Amazon, just to see if your product sells there. If it does, then try like straight away create your own website and try selling it on there with advertisement from AdWords or Facebook, really depending on your product. But that's what I would recommend to do.
Cool. So what are some things you would say are must-haves on your e-commerce site?
Must-haves, reviews. Tracking system. I would
by tracking system, do you mean like seeing where people click and like as in analytics tracking, or
no? Actually, well, in this case, you guys doing the fulfillment of my orders, and you providing my customers with a tracking system that they can track their order. Because if customers cannot track their order, they will ask for where's my package, my package.
True.
And if you have 20 emails that you have to answer where their package, exactly. And if they can track, you save yourself a lot of money. So tracking system somehow implemented in your e-commerce system. And reviews, they're super important. These are the two things that must have. And of course, good representation of your whole website, nice pictures. Good looking website.
Cool. So what are some opportunities in e-commerce right now?
I think for myself, my next journey would be selling products to China. So instead of many people look into like, what can I import from China into Australia? But now I'm actually looking, what are the cool products we have in Australia that we can export to China, because China is just such a huge market, not even comparable to the Australian market. And
plus Chinese people really love Australian natural stuff like this.
So you never something know. Like this, or a friend of mine has a camel farm, and he has beauty products. and he has people coming, and sometimes there's a whole bus of Chinese people arriving, and they love this stuff. They love it because genuine Australian products made in Australia. They really like it, and they know that it's original. So I think there's heaps of potential for Australian products in China. So this is something that I will in future target.
Yeah. So what are the biggest challenges in e-commerce then?
Is keeping your business profitable, watching the numbers.
Yeah.
That's I think is challenging because it's very easy to see money coming in.
Yep.
And then money's coming in, but you also have to check it's like how much money is going out, and I found that a little bit challenging. In order to like surveil it and see like okay, how much money does my process cost me actually? Like you gotta do your numbers. If you don't do your numbers, you can end up by the end of the year you realize, hey, I actually didn't make much at all.
And, or you could have made even lost money.
Exactly, because you have to pay some GST and so on. Yeah.
Yep. So, what's the future plans for Karl Kombucha? Any new flavors, new products? Anything you wanna tease us with for the future?
Well, extend in regards the kombucha drink itself.
Yep.
Like I'm actually planning to sell my business, but I'm not sure at the moment how it will go. But if I would not sell my business, the strategy that I was targeting, the to-do things on my list is improve SEO on the website just to increase the conversion rate, or not conversion rate,
traffic.
Traffic. The one thing, the kombucha drink itself, to start actually selling it physically. Like what I mean by physically is like two different stores in
like IGAs,
exactly coffee places, etc. That is like one step that needs to be done because infrastructure is there, so it just needs to be implemented.
Just do it, as you
Yeah,
say.
exactly.
Yeah, cool. So last question. We end the podcast with this. So we ask our guests to provide a bit of an inspirational or an action for people to do throughout the week to help their e-commerce businesses grow, or just to inspire them. So what's your final words before we sign off on the podcast?
Don't be afraid to try new things, and literally try them, because as I mentioned earlier, out of 4 things, 1 thing will work great and 3 will not work at all. So just try new things, but do it smart. If you, let's say, hire a company to do your advertisement, make sure you do your research about the company. Or if you implement reviews, if you haven't done this, for example, then make sure check the reviews, check what other people said about this company. But definitely try out different things, and out of a few things tried, you will find something that actually works really great.
Cool. Okay, so just to end the podcast, where can people find you? What's your website?
Simply just jump online on www.karlkombucha.com.au, and Karl with a K, or just email me on info@karlkombucha.com.au.
Yeah, cool.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for appearing on the podcast.
Simon, thank you so much.
Cool. All right. See you later.
See ya. Thanks.
Bye.